Hello, everyone, and welcome to our group presentation. Today, our team of 8 is going to break down one of the most fundamental concepts in organizational management, differentiating between projects and non projects, which are more commonly known as operations. A project is formally defined as a temporary endeavor undertaken to accomplish a unique product or service. It possesses distinct attributes. It has a unique purpose. It is temporary. It requires resources, often from various cross-functional areas, and it operates under primary sponsor or customer. Project management itself is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. As project managers, the core challenge is balancing competing demands. Unlike non-projects, which feature steady, repeatable workloads, a project manager must constantly balance a complex constraint triangle. Scope, time, cost, quality, resources, and risk. To show you exactly how this look is practiced, I will hand it over to Amandy to present our real-world example. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, Roshana. When we are looking into the real world examples, there are uncountably worldwide and Sri Lanka IT context, as you know. So, to fully grasp the distinctions, let's look at concrete example of IT projects outlined in the lecture note project management overview and concepts. As you know, major national IT projects in Sri Lanka includes Lanka Government Network LGN version 2.0 and its associated Wi-Fi facilities, P-Connect fiber network and Wi-Fi facilities for post offices, Lanka Government Cloud version 2.0 and the National Data Center, the National Cyber Security Operations Center, and the Centralized Presence Management System. So, why these are classified as projects? Because they are temporarily initiatives. They have a clear setup timeline, a specific capital budget, and they deliver a unique infrastructure assets. Now, why these are classified as projects? Because they are temporarily initiatives. They have a clear setup timeline, a specific capital budget, and they deliver a unique infrastructure assets. So, if now we are looking the non-project sides of these exact project and the systems I mentioned, once the centralized prison management system project is finalized and closed, the daily repetitive task of an IT officer resetting user passwords, backing up the database every night, or a clerk entering daily logs becomes an operation. This is no end date to daily data entry or routine system maintenance. It is ongoing work designed to sustain the system. So that's what about the real world example as we can get together to help us understand how to systematically tell these two types of work apart. Chandupa will kick off our structural framework. Let's move on to him.
Thank you, Amandyaka. To differentiate a project from a non-project, we look at their distinct life cycles. As explained in our lectures before, a project is structured into 5 distinct process groups. They are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. We start with initiating to define our charter and stakeholders. Then move into planning to map out our scope and schedule, and then hit executing to coordinate our resources. Throughout this, we run monitoring and controlling to track regulations uh, before finally reaching closing to formalize acceptance. In a project, activity levels spike drastically during the planning and executing phases and drop to zero at the closing phase. Furthermore, in the early phases of a project, resource needs are at their lowest, but uncertainty and risks are at their highest. In stark contrast, a non-project environment doesn't experience these phases. Its resource levels and risk profiles remain stable, optimized, and predictable over time. Management reviews are also called phase exits or kill points. They are unique to projects to evaluate continued compatibility with organizational goals before moving forward. And now Situm will take us through how scope is managed differently in both environments. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandu. The next point of differentiation is scope management. Project scope focus on define and controlling what is and is not included in the project to successful deliver an unique product. We use a breakdown structure to subdivide project deliverable into manageable work package. We must actively combat scope cheap, uncontrolled blood change and goal planting, which is the team adding unrequested features. In a non-project environment, the scope of work is standardized and static. It is heavily documented in standard operating procedure and mean to be repeated identically every single day without variation. Any change to operational scope go toward steady business as usual configuration changes. Where project scope change must go toward a formal integration change control process. I will hand to our Enuka to discuss time management. Thank you.
Thank you, Situ. Now let's discuss time management, which is one of the main differences between projects and daily operations. Every project has a clear start date and ending date. So project managers must carefully plan and monitor the schedule to complete the project on time. They use tools such as network diagrams to show how tasks are connected and critical path method CPM to identify the task and cannot be declared. If a task on the critical path is declared, the whole project was delayed. Project managers also use PERT estimating to make better time estimates. It uses optimistic, more likely, and pessimistic estimates and combines them using former shows on the screen. If a project falls behind schedule, managers can use crashing, which means adding more resources, or fast tracking, which means doing some tasks at the same time to save time. In contrast, non-project operations follow regular schedules and repetitive daily activities. They do not need tools like CPM, PERT, or schedule compressions techniques. Therefore, project time management is more structured and focused on meeting specific deadlines. Thank you. Next, Yanuli will decide cost management and quality management.
Thank you, Enuka. I am going to talk about cost and quality management. First, let's look at the cost management. In projects, we work with a temporary fixed budget. Once the project starts, we set a cost performance baseline. We use method called earn value management to check if we are spending money correctly. We mainly look at the cost performance index, which is earn value divided by actual cost. On the other hand, in non-projects or daily operations, we use continuous annual operating budgets. The focus is on long-term cost efficiency and reducing the life cycle cost of ownership. Now moving to quality management. For quality is projects, we need to make sure the products meets requirements and it is fit for use. We use tools such as control charts and Pareto charts to find the main problem quickly. In non-projects operations, quality is different. We focus on continuous small improvements every day. This is called Kaizen. This goal is to keep making stable processes better and better. So in summary, projects focus on fixed budgets and specific quality tools while non-projects focus on ongoing budgets and continue improvements. Umesha will now continue with the human resource management. Thank you.
Thank you, Yenuli Akka. Now I will explain the fifth pillar of our framework. One of the main difference between a project and normal daily work is how people are managed. In a project, the team is usually temporary and may include people from different departments such as IT, finance, and marketing. Because projects have a clear start and end date, the project manager has an important job. They must coordinate team members, manage tasks, and make sure everyone works together to achieve the project goals. To avoid confusion, project managers often use a tool called the RACI matrix. This tool shows who is responsible for doing the work, who is accountable to final result, who should be consulted for advice, and who should be informed about progress. Project teams also go through 5-stage called the Truckman model: forming, storming, normaling, performing, and adjourning is these stages. Adjourning means the team separates after the project is complete. In a normal business, operations team are usually permanent. Employee works in the same departments, follow the same reporting structures, and continue their work without a final adjourning stage. So, human resources management shows that projects are temporary teams and flexible management, while non-project work uses permanent teams and structurable table. With that, I would like to hand over to Malisha to explain stakeholder management and procurement management. Thank you.
Thank you, Anju. Our final points of differentiation lies in stakeholders and procurement. For stakeholder management, projects deal with a highly dynamic ecosystem. Because poor engagement accounts for 75% of project failures, project managers must actively categorize stakeholders using tools like Power Interest Grid. In 2026, projects are leveraging an AI-enhanced stack using dynamic platforms like Asana, along with AI sentiment analysis to reduce coordination time by 35%. Non-project stakeholder management by comparison deals with stable, well-established relationships like long-term internal users. Finally, in procurement management, projects utilize make or buy analysis to acquire external goods or services using specific project contracts like fixed price, cost, reimbursable, or time and material contracts. Non-projects rely on long-term continuous supply chain agreements. In summary, a project is a glue that coordinates all these distinct knowledge areas to drive organizational change. Once that change is successfully implemented and formally closed, it transitions smoothly into a non-project, becoming part of the day-to-day operations that sustain the business. Thank you.